AEW's main title picture, the world title picture that MJF holds around his waist, the Triple B, has never been more elite. Screw the script! Welcome back, everybody. Screw the Script. I'm your host, as always, Maverick. Thanks for joining me this Tuesday night. It's another edition of the Top Turnbuckle Topic, which is my Tuesday segment. For those of you who are new, I've gained a lot of subscribers since last Tuesday, so thank you to all of you new subscribers who may be watching this right now. Welcome to the STS Society, where we're all about going against the script, saying screw the script that says AEW is going to fail. All the AEW haters that want it to fail, all the E-stands that want it to fail, they can screw off. That's what we're all about here on Screw the Script. And if you're new watching this, I would appreciate a like, a comment, a subscribe would be much appreciated as well. And for all of you who have been helping out, keep hyping the video. It really helps this channel grow. Let's get into this video's Top Turnbuckle Topic. It's time to swoop, man. Maver's got the scoop. It's the Top Turnbuckle Topic. Like I said, it's right in the title of this video. The AEW World Heavyweight Championship picture has never been this elite, has never been this deep. You got MJF at the top right now as champ, but then you've got Andrade, who just turned on Team DC MJF at Forbidden Door this past Sunday night, and that was incredible. I love it. I loved his shirt that he had. I think it was fucking hilarious, that shirt that he had. But where does this go for the world title picture? Because we've got, Briscoe versus MJF tomorrow on Dynamite. By the way, Collision is on Thursday this week, not Saturday, so keep that in mind. So back-to-back days of pro wrestling for AEW fans. But not only do we have Andrade, not only have Mark Briscoe, you've got Ospreay, who won against Swerve at Forbidden Door. You've got Kenny Omega, who beat Zack Sabre Jr. and has been teasing his redemption, which is the title of AEW Redemption. That's going to be in July. So we got a massive circle of guys that want to take the strap off of MJF. It's likely still going to be Will Ospreay at All In Wembley that wins it. How are we certain that it's going to be MJF? Really? Because that is how unpredictable AEW has been. We saw how far Maya World got for the women's Owen, and that was surprising enough. And we got a great surprise return of Jay White at Forbidden Door. MJF has a lot of people gunning for him, and who's to say he's even going to make it to All In Wembley as AEW champion? He could lose to Briscoe on Wednesday. Likely not, but Redemption, it sounds like it's going to be Kenny Omega. Does he lose to him there? Does Andrade challenge him somewhere between now and All In Wembley? And does he take the strap off of him? If it's none of those guys and it ends up being Ospreay and MJF at All In Wembley, you know that there's going to be a massive line of guys lining up for Will Ospreay if he beats MJF for that strap. The names that I just named, Swerve will probably join in there as he beats Swerve to move on to All In, so you know that their beef is not done. We've got Hangman that's got to return at some point. Darby Allin might stay up there, although he's feuding with Kevin Knight right now. I think that Kyle Fletcher should get pushed to the main title scene, and very well could get pushed to the main title scene after he gets done feuding with Takeshita. So there's a lot of guys that are going to be gunning for that strap from here until the end of 2026. And I just want to know down below what you guys think. Do you think, let me know in the comments, do you think that it is going to be MJF and Will Ospreay? Or do you think it's going to be a different combination against Will Ospreay? It's likely going to be one of those guys against Will Ospreay, unless some shenanigans happens where Will Ospreay loses his opportunity at All In Wembley. I doubt it. He's a lock for sure. But who is he going to face as champ? Will it be MJF? Is it going to be Briscoe somehow? Is it going to be Andrade? Is it going to be Kenny Omega? Do we get this triple threat or a fatal four-way to happen? I think you stick with one-on-one personally. That's what I would want. But you never know with the unpredictability of AEW in 2026. So again, let me know down below what you think it's going to be. And that's the top turnbuckle topic of this video. The world title picture is absolutely elite. A very close runner-up was Jay White. So I'm just going to mention that real quick. He made his return at Forbidden Door. And we know that we're going to have the Dogs versus Bullet Club Gold. It's going to be incredible. the 3-year callback. 3 years. Don't tell me that AEW doesn't know how to tell long-term storytelling, E-stands and AEW haters. Not every feud needs to be a 3-year-long PG bullshit soap opera drama like you see over in WWE. Every feud has to have like 18 promos back and forth with one another before they even have a damn match. They don't do that in AEW, and it's not needed. There's a very happy medium with long-term storytelling and feuds like that, which we have with David Finlay and the returning Jay White, and then one-offs that were great, like Bandito versus Moxley at Forbidden Door. That was a good match. So, where does this go? How is this going to unfold? I'm sure that it's going to accumulate to a match between the two teams at All In Wembley. And so that's a runner-up for the top turnbuckle topic of this video. Now on to some other quick AEW news, and I got one thing for MLW and one thing for TNA. It looks like AEW files a trademark Death's Door, so we are for sure going to see this cage utilized again. I think it's brilliant. I love the look. It was very unique. The spots were incredible during that cage match, a ton of fun. And I think not only that, they should make it a Forbidden Door only event or stipulation. I mean, they call it Death's Door. It's perfect to have it at Forbidden Door. You're walking through the Forbidden Door, Death's Door, to a very unique cage match. So I'm glad that they filed trademark for that. Very fun cage match, and I'm looking forward to see it utilized again in the future. Speaking of AEW Redemption, I mentioned earlier with Kenny Omega teasing his redemption. Looks like Tony Khan listened to a lot of people on, the East Coast that get tired staying up. I mean, Forbidden Door, the only minor complaint maybe for some people is that it went, too late. Redemption is also on a Sunday, July 26th, but it's going to start an hour earlier. Pay-per-view to start an hour earlier, it says. Pre-show will begin at 6 Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. So I believe 5 o'clock Central for me, and then main show at 6. So this is going to be really nice for people who work on Monday mornings. Excited for Redemption. I'm curious to see what the look is going to look like, the design of the stage and whatnot, because it's a brand new pay-per-view. And now on to the TNA and MLW news real quick before my DDT, which is a really good one in this video. First, TNA. Mike Santana is done with TNA. His contract is about to expire. He's expected to sign with WWE. So again, I pointed this out last week on some videos. The last 5 or 6 videos, I've mentioned how TNA is just continuing to lose more and more of their top talent. Who in the hell are they going to have over there by the end of the year? Santana's leaving. Leon Slater, I can't remember if he re-signed or not. He might be leaving. I mean, they have nobody besides a 40-something-year-old Nick Nemeth as champ now. And the Hardys, I mean, Moose, I guess. That's it. That's really it. And TNA wonders why their ratings are plummeting. They literally have maybe 30 people on the roster, and half of them, literally half of them, are people who can't cut it in WWE or AEW anymore because they're either too old or just not that good in the ring. And now on to MLW Fusion. I've been enjoying it. Real quick news on this, Teddy Long returns. Love Teddy Long. He was my favorite SmackDown manager back in the day. He returned center stage Saturday at Major League Wrestling on 4th of July. That's going to be a lot of fun to see Teddy Long. I have no clue if it's just a one-off thing or if he's going to have a longer-term deal with MLW. But I love Teddy Long, so I'm going to be looking forward to seeing him at MLW Fusion. And now on to this video's DDT. This is a really good one, like I said a few minutes ago, you guys. Again, another person in my comment section that just honestly went nuclear, got super triggered. This goes to Adore You and Ash XI. I'm not sure if that's an L or an I. Boy, it's a long one here. Let me read it to you guys. He goes on to say, AEW fanboys are so embarrassingly soft. LOL. Bischoff wasn't just spewing random nonsense out of his mouth. He was literally asked his opinion, which means it wasn't random. Well, the question wasn't random, but him saying I was talking about nonsense about saying that TNA would be the new number 2 just because they partnered with NXT for half a year. That's some random nonsense. He made a prediction based on previous commonplace WWE practices and cross promotions which have happened, yes, but you can't always compare the past with the current because that doesn't mean it's going to equate to the same future. Dude, predictions are correct so far more than they are wrong, but loserish AEW fans just can't cope because he calls out all TK's nonsensical garbage. AEW and WWE are both toilet products. Well, I can agree with WWE, but not AEW. Only AEW fanboys are still smoking copium. How many people use that line? It's so generic. Bischoff literally makes more money on his podcast and WWE royalties than most AEW talents are being paid. Even if that's true, why does that matter? His point's still flawed. I'm sure he couldn't care less that a few IWC echo chambers are roasting him to their equally obtuse tiny crowd. That line made 0 sense. But thanks for the laugh. It's always funny when YouTube throws one of these tiny 2K sub channels in my algorithm, all using the same generic Zoomer humor editing style. They think it is going to set them apart. You guys are like caricatures. Boy, he thinks he cooked. Well, let's break this down. 1, he really thought he did something there, calling a crowd tiny and obtuse in the same sentence? That's like calling someone a giant midget, dude. Pick a struggle, math is free. You know, he read that over before he posted on my channel in the comments section thinking, yeah, obtuse tiny crowd, that's gonna hit them deep. Someone give that fucking dude a protractor. Obtuse is a big angle, not little. That's a cute. Go back to 3rd grade math. And then he's crying about Tony Khan's nonsensical garbage. Did you literally forget that Eric Bischoff booked WCW so far into the fucking dirt that Vince McMahon bought it for the price of a used Honda Civic, and then the dude ended up going over to work for him because no one else would probably hire him. He loves Bischoff's predictions because Bischoff has plenty of free hours of the day and time to sit down and overanalyze things because nobody would trust him with the company's checkbook again. So for all of those reasons, while I just absolutely roasted that guy, you guys are all invited to the barbecue as I roasted him. Those are the reasons why this video is DDT. That's all I had on this episode of Screw the Script. Let me know down below your thoughts on the top turnbuckle topic. Again, what is your prediction on All In Wembley's main event? Is it going to be MJF and Will Ospreay? Or is it going to be one of the guys going after MJF before we even get to All In against Will Ospreay? Will it be Andrade, Kenny Omega, Mark Briscoe? Let me know down in the comments. As always, this has been Maverick with Screw the Script. Thanks for watching.